Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we talk all things reality. Ooh, what we talk?
We
really,
drag.
we drag the girls, and I be forgetting. I don't know why. So you might be shocked. You might be like, wait.
Ooh, yeah.
You might be like, wait. However, babe, what did we tell you? They're all getting
Yeah,
dragged.
you may be looking at this video and you may be thinking, Joseph, what? He's getting dragged? Oh, yeah, he gets dragged too.
He gets
He
dragged
gets
too.
dragged too.
He
Now,
gets dragged.
disclaimer, he is still daddy down. Because I think it's definitely fair to say, Joseph, he's really not the meat and potatoes of the bullshit that's been happening this season. But he did play a part at one point. And it shall be pointed out.
And he will get dragged for that part at one point. At that point.
See, for me, it's still daddy down. Don't ever get it twisted. My hole is open. You know what I'm saying? But I think Joseph definitely, if I had to give him an award, it would definitely be most improved because child, that week one, if you don't know, Joseph Abdin, Daddy Down, is the replacement to Marvin, another daddy with some abs too, who could also get it. But he replaced Marvin last minute. So Joseph, he comes to the game, and I remember his preseason, it was very basic. I was not gagged at all. He was talking about being loyal. He's talking about people at 23, like the other people who don't know the goddamn show. It was very clear that he was a recruit. And he got in the house, and it became even more apparent that he was a recruit. He was walking around that first week talking about something. I want to change the meaning of what Big Brother is. You don't have to lie. You don't have to cheat and be shady. Like I want to be very, very positive. And it was really annoying that Joseph 24 was very annoying because, like I mentioned in other videos and podcasts, it was popular at the time to hate Taylor. So Joseph, which I think we learned about him moving forward, Joseph is gonna play in the bitch's face. So I feel like that earlier weeks, like week 1 and week 2 and things like that, when everyone was hating Taylor, even though he had a good relationship with Taylor, it was very obvious that he thought everyone else really didn't. So that's what he went along with. He has said comments like, I want to slam the door in her face if she's listening at the door. Things like that. Like, he is someone that uses Taylor a lot as a scapegoat in those earlier weeks, and a little bit throughout the season as well, but it was really, really prevalent those earlier weeks because she was the house target. So it went from we thinking, oh, that was the start of Jaylor in week 1. Like, they were getting really, really close to he's trashing her in every single conversation. And we see, the week where the leftovers get started, he returned Joseph 25. That switch just immediately switches. It goes from I'm bashing her because everyone hates her to, oh, well,
we need to save Taylor, and I'm so excited that we're saving Taylor. And Turner, you have to do this. You have to make sure Amira goes. You have to make sure Taylor stays. And then after that, him and Taylor are best.
And it was just like that. It's so weird. And I think because we see post leftovers, like Joseph will lie in Jasmine and Indy's face straight to their face. Like, he will say anything to them. It does not fucking matter. And and then he kept doing that, but with Taylor. And that's why it's something I just could never fully get over with Joseph. It's like he kept using Taylor as this scapegoat, someone that I can use and say, well, I'm not working with her, and she's someone that, I don't know how she's feeling. Like, I don't know. It was just his relationship with her on a game level was just always just so iffy with me. I didn't like it.
It was very weird. But I guess one thing I appreciate about Joseph is, as we've kind of explained, a lot of it was game-based. Like, the reason he kept using her as a scapegoat was for the game. When people were thinking about maybe doing something he didn't want, or he wanted to relate for someone in the game, a lot of those conversations were for the game. However, him aiding and abetting to all of the bashing, and him including himself in, and yes, she is doing this, and she is wearing the dress, and I will slam the door in her face. All of that shit just ganged up on top of this woman. And it was very, very weird, especially when he was supposed to be her friend. It's I guess since he changed and since the leftovers was created, the house flipped and he stopped doing all of that. You really saw, I guess, his true self, what he truly wanted the entire time.
Because he always liked Taylor.
And I think that's the key with thing. Taylor.
No one really hates Taylor. Like, let's just be honest. If you're talking shit about her, it's because you're jealous.
You either hate yourself or you don't hate her. Like, those are the
two options. And like, he genuinely likes her a lot. And I will say, like, seeing that shift with Joseph, it really did. Like, I loved it a lot. Because let's get into Jaylor real quick. I Taylor stan? Comment below. You a Monte or you a Jaylor?
And there's only one right answer.
And that's the
Jaylor hive.
And that's Jaylor, period. Or Taylor Halays. Or Taylor Surface. One of the three.
One of the three.
But like, I love that because when they would have those conversations, they would get really, really deep with each other. Like Joseph and Taylor started having like really, really late night combos where they would just talk about their selves and kind of like just things about like, you know, the diversity in the season, what they kind of came there for. Just I feel like bonding on this deeper level, and we really get to see this different side of Joseph, which was great because child. Like I said, those earlier weeks, it was like, wow, Joseph, like that switch up is just so weird. But just in general, it still sucks at the end of the day to see how easy it was for them. Because, I mean, even on his way out, he kind of used Taylor as a scapegoat. Telling Kyle
Taylor told me this, and this, and that.
There's a final four. It's like, why did you need to do that? Like, that did not keep you in the game, babe. You're still enjoying it with Jasmine and Indy. Like, what? Like, come on. Like, you didn't have to throw her under the bus like that because I mean, literally. I don't think that's the real reason why they're targeting Taylor this week, but that's the reason that they're using. And it's like that would have been something to use if you didn't do all of that. I just think in general, him as a player, you know, when he turned 25 and that strategicness really just into his game, it was so good, but you could tell he went so overboard. Like, I mean, some of the plans and schemes and ideas he came up with, it was just a lot. And I feel like, honestly, Joseph is also a clear example, I feel like, for a lot of POC players moving forward. I think if you are a POC player and you watch Joseph and you see him, you know, being so honest with his alliance, coming back and telling them everything and being so open with all of your strategies and allegiances, like, POC players, don't do that no more. Do not do that no more. Because there's always going to be a white person scared, trembling and shaking. Panicking. One of the main things that brought Joseph down in this game was the fact that he was so open and honest with his game. And because he's a POC, they took that and turned it into, well, he's against us and he has to go. Like, future POC players, please don't go back and tell your alliance everything. Because that is really what got Joseph in trouble. And it sucks because he was actually coming from a genuine place of, I trust you guys. I want to go to the end with the leftovers, and he's the first one out. Literally.
And that's really fucked up. And I hate that his game kind of ended on the basis of the fact that he was a person of color, literally. Because that's just so icky. And it
sucks because literally it's based on what the cookout did. Joseph's ass is not even black. It was the same with Moose and Big Brother Canada. He got a group with all the black players. These people aren't black. They're just brown. Like, and that's what really sucks because, you know, if you're a POC player, you can't go in the game and say, well, I'm not going to do the cookout. I'm not going to, unite with other people because of these diverse things. You can't do that because I think this season is very clearly shown that regardless of y'all working together or not, they're going to assume you are, and they're going to try and fight against that. I will say it wasn't as... In Big Brother Canada 10, the white people literally linked up. Like, they were very obviously linking up and very openly together. This season didn't happen that way, but imagine if it did. Like, it just sucks that, you know, if you're watching Feast today, you'll see Kyle ass is getting exposed down. But it sucks that Joseph had to be, you know, he got the short end of that stick. You know, he is going home because of those racial biases and all of that, all of those negative things that Kyle is pushing through the game is what sent Joseph out the house. Like 100%. He was twisted through by CBS and fucked over by Kyle's racism. Point blank.
Period. He literally won 0 competitions the entire time, but was seen as the biggest threat. He was going to win everything and take us all out. And he was just so dominant in the game because this, and this, and this. Baby, he told all of y'all his entire game. Y'all knew everything. You were in 2 alliances with him, and he has won 0 competitions. How is he the biggest threat? Meanwhile, Michael finna get your ass out. Like be for real.
It does not make any sense. Like, and that's what's really annoying because
Michael's white. So
that's good about that. And that's what pisses me off because just like in Big Brother Canada 10, like it's really just the closest relation to this. Because a lot of those players that season never really got to play their own game. I mean, Joseph this whole time was group with Monty. He didn't have final 2 with Monty. Group with Taylor, no final 2 with Taylor either. Group with both of them, no final 3. You know what I mean? A lot of the things that were assumed about him because he was brown was just not true. And you honestly, you can't fight against that. That's not something that he'd be able to think about and then work against, because he's not sitting here thinking that he's working with all the POC and trying to get all the white people out like Kyle thought so. And it just, that sucks, because he is only the third Middle Eastern man to play this game. And he was a replacement. He wouldn't even been on if Marvin didn't drop out. And this is the shit that he had to face. And it's annoying because I really hope CBS Big Brother, like, DX should have told them something. Mariah should have said something. And now we have Joseph, who isn't necessarily, I don't think he's considered Asian, but it's still like, it's an underrepresented group in Big Brother. Like, diversity isn't just casting more white and more black people. There's so many different diverse groups. There's so many different backgrounds. And it sucks because Joseph, he gets on the show and he's telling the exact same story that Kaser told. You know, Kaser was that lesson in BB6. They came back and made him say it again in BB7, just to bring him back years later and say it again in Big Brother 22, to barely even bring another Middle East on until we needed a replacement. It's like, I wish Big Brother would take and learn from these things, because we should have more Middle Eastern people on here. We should have more Asian people on here, because it sucks that, I mean, I don't know. It just sucks that he never got that chance, I feel like, to do what he wanted, which is the representation factor. Because, like I said, he was only 3, and he got out of such an early placement, he wasn't really able to make that staple. And it sucks, because I feel like Big Brother is not even going to try to, like, you know, do better with that.
Exactly. And when it comes to, and it's interesting because the first couple of weeks with Joseph's game, it was like, ooh, baby, what's going on? And it felt the same way with Indy's entire game, unfortunately. It's like, what's going on? And it's because these two people were literally booty hole recruits. Like, they were fully recruited. And my thing is, Big Brother, CBS, and I said this before, stop recruiting the POC. Stop saving recruitness for only the POC. When you get POC, you can get a POC. You can get a Middle Eastern who applied. They apply, babe. You can get a Brazilian who applies. You can get an Asian, an East Asian man who applies. Like, just get them, because DX was even a recruit technically. Like, he was even a recruit. I don't know what the fuck. Like, just get the ones who apply, because it's a disadvantage no matter how good of a player they turn out to be. Because shout out to Joseph and Derek X, they turned out to be pretty good players. They still were at a disadvantage because they did not know the game for real. Like, they just did not know the game for real. So Joseph didn't know he can't be going back telling all these people things. And it's just a disadvantage. Meanwhile, the main people who are fans are Brittany, Michael, like, Like,
it just sucks because it's like Kyle's ignorance really is messing up people who are in no way connected to what the cookout did. Like he's Middle Eastern. He's not even black. Like, why is he now suffering because of that? Like, I think a lot of people expected other black players to get this, but the fact that people like Moose, I mean, even Helena got grouped with the people of POC in her season, and this season Joseph, even Indy is now.
Why is Indy in it?
This does not make any sense, and it sucks for Joseph because he really got put into a shitty ass position with racist ass people. He was in the house with 3 Klansmen and a tap dancer. He had nowhere to run. To run, and they took his ass out. And it just sucks. It just sucks because
of a dumbass twist, mind you. Why the fuck were they choosing? Why would they choose him? Oh, be for real. Like, we gotta get a lot of people are trying to say
he was not twist screw. He was 1,000% twist screw. What the fuck?
Because if it wasn't for the twist, Michael Ass would have won the HOH most likely, and Michael Ass was not taking that shot because he said it. He said he wasn't gonna take the shot. He would have took out Jazz Bean alone. Like, be for real. Like, be for real.
So yeah, I mean, it just sucks because I feel like Joseph, like, honestly, I hope he get to come back. Like they say, between 5 and second chances. You know, I could definitely see him on. I don't know. I'm here for it, but it does really suck because I thought he was a really interesting character, and it feels like this does not feel like his direct. This is not like his correct placement. I felt the same with DX and BB23. It's like it feels like the Matrix broke them going this placement. It feels the same way when the Mirror Hat left. It's like you don't seem like the player that would just leave in this spot. It's just so random. That's how you know it was bullshit.
Period. But yeah, shit. Shout out to Daddy Joseph. If you see this, hit my line.
I mean, if you like a good arch, I can arch.
I know you like you some
but the street saying he got a girl at home.
Girl, I saw.
That's
cute.
what the streets be saying. But
that's not his girl though.
Well, I don't know. They make it sound like that's his girl. So I don't know the tea on that. That's the thing. That's another thing too. That's why I was so iffy about. Like, I am Team Jaylor because I would rather that over Monte. But it's like it never gave Joseph was 100% trying to really go there with Taylor, which is another thing that we have to dive into because how is Taylor the most beautiful woman in this house and no one wants to showman her? It's giving colorism. It's giving racism. But we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna get into that.
Girl, don't nobody in that house want a black woman. But
and
maybe
that's the
Joseph.
problem.
But maybe Joseph.
And And he up here taking it slow. Bitch, get to the goods.
Get to the goods.
We could have got a real showman before you ass left. And now look, it ain't gonna happen because Taylor's gonna win.
Literally, y'all won't see each other until after the season. Goddamn.
So I hope she's taking on a good date with her 750K.
Period. And then y'all can be on an amazing race. Ciao.
Oh, per. The DX and Claire starter pack.
Goodbye, the Rachel and Brenda.
No, for real. They're originally going to the Challenge USA. No, this is why it's a DX and Claire because the Challenge
USA.
No,
Joseph is going to be on the Challenge USA.
Oh, Joseph is going to eat the Challenge USA up. I really feel like
I'm excited a little bit.
Like, it's over. It's really over for the girls.
What?
So hopefully we do get to see it. That's the thing. That's why I'm happy about the Challenge USA because we're going to get to see.
Think about that.
We're going to get to see players like Joseph.
Imagine Xavier and Joseph just in the same house.
Like, he's someone we're probably going to see on our screens again now that Challenge USA is a thing. So, happy about that. Happy about that.
Ooh, Joseph in a bro. Ugh.
He can run me over. He can haul my bra. He can do a lot. He can do a lot of things in my hall. I feel. Let me stop.
We be in that hall, bro. I will get on my
bend over.
Bye, y'all.
That's just like a tornado alarm.